Sex is one of the most beautiful and exciting things to do in the world. However, people tend to shy away from this conversation because of how they believe they will be perceived. But not to worry, that's why I'm here. So basically, I'm here to help you answer all your wellness questions. So instead of just surviving, you will be thriving. I know people tend to shy away from conversations like this because they don't want to be perceived as crude or maybe vulgar. But not to worry, like I said, I am here to answer all those questions and to help you understand certain principles guiding wellness. That's what brings me to this particular topic of today, of teaching you 10 things you need to know to improve and have the best sexual experience. So these are the things you have to do before having sex, because this kind of prepares you for the entire action and how well and pleasurable it's going to be for you. So stay tuned to find out these tips. Hi guys, if you are stopping by for the first time, my name is Gloria Obo and welcome to my channel. I discuss everything wellness on my channel and I hope you stick around and enjoy. And to my returning subscribers, thank you very much guys for always coming back to watch every episode. Like I keep saying, I do not take your love for granted. So guys, today's episode is basically 10 things you need to know or you need to do before sex. I decided to talk about this topic because I feel like people don't know most of the things I'm going to discuss here, and also if you actually adapt or incorporate the things I'm going to be mentioning here today into your sexual routine, it's going to make your sexual life more pleasurable and enjoyable. So guys, without further ado, let's get into it. The first tip to make your sexual life more pleasurable and enjoyable is sexting. Sexting basically means the exchange of either messages or erotic pictures to stimulate the mind. In this sense, let's not forget that sexual activity literally starts from our brain. So when you know that, oh, you are deeply interested in this person and you are attracted to this person, every activity literally starts from your brain before you start taking actions towards it. So sexting or exchanging erotic pictures or messages, like sweet loving messages, actually sets the mood for you to eventually have sex. In this sense, you mentally stimulate your partner so they have expectations from you and they know that, oh yes, they're going to have a great time when you eventually get to doing the act. So it is very, very important to engage your mind, you and your partner. If you are married or you are single or you have a sexual partner, always make it a point of contact to always engage your mind, stimulate your mind with pictures, loving text, erotic text messages. It will really go a long way to elevate your sexual life and make you really enjoy sex in the long run. The next point I'll be mentioning is foreplay. Foreplay cannot be overemphasized. Like I said before, most sexual action starts with the mind. So you have to like engage and feed the mind, in the sense that foreplay actually helps prepare you mentally and set the mood, like set a better mood for the eventual action of sex. Yeah, so learn your partner's pleasure points, learn what makes them go off, learn what makes them get excited, learn what makes them get aroused. So it's very important to invest time in foreplay. Don't just rush to the action because you cannot wait or you are rushed. Yes, there are times where maybe the intense passion will make either you and your partner not waste time. But it is very important to spend time to please each other, learn each other's body, learn each other's points that make them really happy and get excited before the actual intercourse take place. So foreplay cannot be overemphasized. Please spend time. Do not rush. You are not eating food. It is easier to spend time in foreplay, because spending even longer time in foreplay makes the sexual time longer, as opposed to just going directly to the act of having sex and eventually, okay, what next? You go to the climax and immediately the climax drops and yeah, you're back to square one. But no, foreplay helps set the mood better and make it more and more pleasurable for you and your partner. The next point is to get protection. Getting protected largely varies from one thing to the other. So it's not like protecting yourself from STIs or STDs, or you are protecting yourself from an unwanted pregnancy. So just make sure that in the process of you thinking of having sex, you factor in this thing. If whosoever you're having sex with is not your regular sexual partner, it is very wise for you to factor in condoms, to make sure you don't contract anything, most especially if you don't trust the person in question. So factoring in condom does not make sex less pleasurable. Most people, they will say, oh, they using condoms makes sex less pleasurable, that they don't enjoy it like the way it's supposed to be. But no, you are saving yourself a lot of medical bills, you are saving yourself a lot of incurable STIs or STDs, and you are saving yourself from even becoming a parent eventually, because you don't want to have a child when you are not ready to have a child. So always make sure you factor in protection from STDs and unwanted pregnancies before you have sex. It is very, very important, because you don't want 30 minutes or an hour of enjoyment to literally ruin your life. So guys, do not take that for granted. Always factor in protection. Our next point is to get post pills. Yes, the use of post pills cannot be overemphasized, and this is directly linked to the previous point I mentioned, in the sense that most times during the course of sexual intercourse, condoms can get ruptured in the process, and a ruptured condom literally means that there would have been some leakage or some escape of semen, and this can actually lead to pregnancy. So for women that are not like on pills or on other means of contraception, it is very, very important to factor in getting a post pill if situations like that happen. So do not play with that, as it is very, very important, and you don't want to be a parent when you're not ready to be a parent. So getting a post pill would definitely come in handy for you. So make sure you get a post pill in cases of ruptured condoms. Our next point is to take a shower. Yes, taking a shower, smelling nice, wearing really beautiful lingerie, spraying perfumes would actually help elevate the mood for your sexual activities. I cannot overemphasize this, because nobody wants to like have sex or make love to a sweaty person. No. So make sure that before you go to your partner, or you and your partner are about to involve in any sexual activity, make sure you are clean and you are ready, because honestly speaking, even though you and your partner are in the process of having sex and you don't feel clean, you will not really feel comfortable in the whole act, because you might have insecurities about, probably, I have bad breath, or I'm stinky from, or I'm sweaty. No. So make sure that you come ready, like, they'll say come correct. So make sure you are ready physically, you are looking good, smelling nice. You might not necessarily have to wear a lingerie, because not everybody that has a lingerie. So, but just make sure that you are ready physically and you are good to go. And our next point is empty your bladder. Yes, this is one thing you have to do before sex. Emptying your bladder literally helps you to be more comfortable during the course of sexual intercourse. Nobody wants to have sex with a full bladder, because it's going to give you a lot of discomfort, and for even some women, it makes sex painful for them. So it's always very advisable to make sure you empty your bladder, and that area is free of any restraints or anything that's going to make you comfortable, so you can have like a more pleasurable sexual experience. So if you have a full bladder as you're watching this video, please empty your bladder, because apart from sex, it's also good to always empty your bladder, because it helps with your urinary tract health and all the good things in between. So for this topic today specifically, before you engage in sexual activities, always make sure you empty your bladder. This takes us to our next point, which is use lubricant, or prepare to use lubricant. So basically, there are women that have undergone female genital mutilation, so it is usually hard for them to get wet during the course of sexual intercourse or during the course of foreplay. And also, most women who are also maybe breastfeeding or going through some sort of medication, or probably they have an infection which they don't know of, or hormonal imbalance. So sometimes these factors can make you not get as wet as you ought to be in the course of sexual stimulation. So it's not a bad thing. It doesn't make you incomplete as a woman. It doesn't make you less than you are. So literally, you just have to make sure you look for other alternatives to make you and your partner have a very, very enjoyable and pleasurable sex. So introducing a lubricant is not even a bad thing at all. Try to incorporate it into your sexual routine, as this, you don't know, will just help you elevate the whole act. So you don't have to worry. Nothing is wrong with you. Pending the time you get better, or maybe you stop breastfeeding, or you treat the infection that is not making you have the desired level of wetness you're supposed to reach. So just use a lubricant, and you don't know, you'll just be fine, and you just start enjoying sex again. So please bear that in mind. And this takes us to our next point, which is do not shave before sex. Yes, Shaving before sex actually open up your pores for you to easily contract and pick up bacteria and infection. Yes, your pores are open. If you use a razor blade, let's say you wax or you use a razor blade, you eventually open up your pores, or the little cuts you might have around your genital area makes it easy and makes you prone to picking up bacteria you do not want in your body. So you don't want to say, oh, because of a few minutes enjoyment, you will now like come down with an infection that you have to take medications for, you have to treat. No. So make sure that you abstain from that. Make sure that even though you want to have sex, make sure you shave like 2 days before or 3 days before. Don't go shaving like an hour before, 2 hours before. And that goes for people that are planning for Valentine, because I'm filming this video a few days to Valentine. So if you know you're planning for Valentine and you're watching this video, start shaving for maybe like on the 10th or on the 9th. Don't wait till on the 14th, on the morning of on the 14th, or a 9th, maybe on the 9th or on the 13th, before you start getting everything out of the way. No, don't do that. You're putting yourself at risk of bacteria and of infection. So please do not shave immediately before sex. And this takes us to our next point. Avoid spicy or heavy meals. Yes, having spicy meals before sex literally would give you a heartburn. There's no two ways about it, because don't forget that sex is motion. You are moving, you are not stagnant, you are not static. So because of you moving up and down, left and right, middle and upward, whatever, you are going to get a heartburn from the spicy food. And also heavy meals will not help you promote or achieve the best sexual experience you need, because it kind of weakens your body and makes your metabolism slow. So it might be hard for you to really actively pleasure your partner because your stomach is full. So if you live in this part of the world, I live in Nigeria, leave eba alone, leave amala alone, leave fufu alone. Those are heavy meals we eat in Nigeria with our soups. So leave those meals alone. And I don't know if you are watching from any part of the world, leave heavy meals in your culture alone and focus on energy giving food that will help you be more active, be more like, gives you more agility, more speed. Those are the kind of meals you should consume before sex. Or maybe literally light bites. You don't really have to eat anything heavy. Really like light food, maybe biscuits, cakes, and things that are not going to like weaken your metabolism or your body. So guys, always take that into cognizance. No spicy meals, no heavy meals. And that takes us to our last and final point. Yes, this point cannot be overemphasized, and lots of people have gone to prison because they did not adhere to this particular point. Yes, consent is key. This cannot be overemphasized. When you are in the course of sexual intimacy or sexual pleasure and your partner says stop, no matter how heightened your pleasure is, no matter the level you got into, stop means stop, no means no, continue means continue, don't continue means don't continue. Because with the rate of sexual abuse going on in the world now, most people tend to like even get raped by their spouses. Yes, there are women they have come out to say, oh, their husbands raped them, or maybe girlfriends when they say, oh, their boyfriends raped them or something, because they were not ready to have sex and their partners were like, oh no, it's either now or never. So it is really wrong on all fronts, like really wrong. No means no. Make sure that before you engage in sexual activity with your partner, you ask for their consent and they allow you. And this goes for both ways, both males and females, because males or men get raped to the same way women get raped, but it's just that it's more prevalent with women than it is with men. So make sure if your partner says, I am not interested, they are not interested, they really mean they are not interested, let them be. Okay, so to avoid maybe spending time in prison or anything because of you felt like, oh, probably she was joking or anything, but no, don't do that. Don't set yourself up for such a problem. Make sure you strictly adhere to the consent of your partner or whosoever you are about to engage in sexual activity with, and make sure they give you a go ahead to do whatever you have to do. And if they withdraw consent, you stop. So that's just it, guys. Please just stay careful and be safe out there. Make sure you use protection if you are engaging in sexual activities, and make sure you go for regular checkups, as that is actually very important for your sexual health. Thank you very much, guys, for staying tuned. Thank you for staying tuned up to this moment. If you stayed up to this moment, please kindly subscribe to my channel. You know, I give you the best content, like I always say. Subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share, comment, as you don't know who you might just be helping learn something new that they don't know before. And if this topic really like interested you and excited you, you can leave conversations in the comment section that I will follow up with, and we can like pick up the conversations from there. Or if you have questions, put it down there in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.